Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
You can often tell a lot at this stage from a match by the break-off shot. What sort of break-off you're going to see on the other table. Basically get them open as quickly as possible.
First men, a little disrespectful perhaps, but I don't think we'll be seeing any of that here.
It's funny actually, Ronnie, he's a bit old school in many...
Dominant. Completely different stance and technique. His principles were absolutely correct. Fundamentals in terms of technique. It's awkward when it acts so much. It's to refocus.
One.
The next phase. Either way, they're going home tonight. Oh, well, that's incredible. That Brown's gone in. Imagine trying to do that.
One Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Struck the Brown and spun away from it. Didn't happen. Real harm done. That's another mistake, I think, from Ali. Won't be able to get through to this red. Black is tied up.
One.
Doesn't need the ranking points or the money, I'm guessing, but chose to come. It's another chance to play. He's missed that blue.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
I think from a ranking data, to get inside the world's top 16, every point, every match that he plays is important to him.
Chance here. I do think as well, you know, the memory's fresh of this one.
One.
I like to see rivalries with the other players at an event like this, but all sports need
Nine.
these interest, media, and with snooker fans. Not supposed to.
I just think though Ronnie, these days as he gets older,
17.
enjoys his rings outside of snooker. He's a little more philosophical, I think, these days, and quite so heavily balanced on the Ronnie O'Sullivan side of things. I think it's
20.
more
The actual meetings between them, O'Sullivan has won almost all of them. Obviously the one people remember recently was at the Crucible.
33.
I think O'Sullivan always doing on the table.
$41.
beautifully controlled positional shot.
47.
It's hard to see it. But the red goes anyway, so there wasn't any need for that. Actually playing this other one with the rest.
50.
This black, red in colour, that he needs.
2. 63.
Yes, of course, he has played quite a bit of snooker actually since the World Championship in exhibition favourite.
70.
So it's not that the cue hasn't been out at all.
71.
Does have minutes, a lot of respect. Does put the time in, but some days he
79.
says he'll do an hour, half an hour. Sometimes practicing at all for a couple of days afterwards. Very, very hard to keep putting the hours in on years and giving your whole life to the sport.
I think he does more than people
85.
realise. That I've seen him at all sorts of tournaments, you know, his head down on the practice time. But yeah, I mean, when it's hard to keep going. I think that was Stephen Hendry's issue in the end when he retired. He just didn't enjoy spending all day in the club anymore.
$93.
To make hopefully this century if the black goes in, and in it goes. Well, regardless of the position in the group, and of course he can't win it, a Ronnie O'Sullivan century, special viewing.
102.
Yeah.
Which now stands at 1,171.
105. 109. 120.
Well, it's been a wonderful break, it really has. What about that?
127.
Clearance of 127.
After the break.
It's not going to happen at every event, surely, but expect him still to figure plenty of times as he knocks in that red.
About these sun tables, the fact that we did feel that down the
Nine.
red that's next to the black will also plot into the left, back up into play. And this red.
15.
Is either one to screw off. Must do. This frame could be over fairly quickly.
23.
Look at the position of the balls. The two reds just below the pink. Didn't have to, but I'm
31.
Yeah, I was talking about the head-to-head. If you count every match played in all tournaments decided.
36.
In fact, he's been in 2 World Finals. It's an incredible head-to-head record.
Yeah, well, of course, they're 2 of the 19 tournaments. One in Belfast one time
41.
where...
Some of Ronnie's performances are astonishing. Absolutely annihilated Ricky Watts. Just something I've never seen before.
He's lost his way there, so just accepting.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Safety.
48.
Now 30 years into his career, as we saw at the Crucible this year. The oldest ranking event winner, 17, so in a few years' time he could well hold both. As he knocks that one in.
1.
Ronnie performed this way in some of his earlier matches.
5.
Him's first match in a bit. Haven't won any of those 5 frames. These thick frames.
12.
That's the thing, though. Of course, there's no real pressure in this match, so sort of it's over if the black goes in. It's going to be 2-0.
51.
Just missed the cannon there, Ronnie. I always marvel, you know, at his fluency. It reminds me very much of a concert.
Well, so Pang's coming back on Friday. And tomorrow we've got our last 2 groups to decide the final 8 in this year's Bet Victor Championship League. It's been a long tournament, this. It's...
The red that's closest to the left corner. That's the easiest pot. Good. Goodness me, he's playing well. Again, just beautifully timed. If the red
6.
Okay, still.
14.
Again, just beautifully judged. Has
19.
Yes. Of the 80s. So Ronnie's dad went over and said to people. Anyway, he posed for a picture with young Ronnie, which you see it's online.
27.
Gone past Davis's tally of world titles with 7 and equalled Stephen Hendry's.
I think
35.
players of simulations of the day in tournament. It's amazing that one day you turn professional yourself and you're playing them all. Steve Davis and Terry Griffiths and all of these guys. Ironic, ended up living close to him and practicing with him as an amateur.
Well, I know this doesn't work for anyone watching, but I'm now...
Fantastic. Look at that. Look at Ronnie. With
50.
each other.
Well, of course, what he's done since is... Who are here, they all adore him, actually, although that didn't stop stop the two of them.
58.
That's what you can do, and O'Sullivan's done that in the last match. So not quite done yet.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
A couple of weeks' time for the European Masters against another legend, Jimmy White.
Thank you very much, Dave. I'm always looking forward to playing Jimmy. It's always a great honour to play. .66 behind. It's a chance to get back in the frame if it goes in. To be, where's the cue ball? It might be better having
Foul.
gone in off.
So it's not the end, and Carter, there's enough on here. There's 75 on.
Apart from that tricky red that I'd almost fancy to clear up from here. But there are ways of dealing the right centre as a guarantee
7.
and bring it into play. Maybe not.
.15.
Red now is becoming more utterly. Give himself a double on it
23.
perhaps. But he's chosen to leave the double.
Tries to, of course, force the draw and finish third in the table. Well, first things first, needed to win this
Harry
frame.
Carter.
Red's not in,
38.
and again, O'Sullivan though finally win a match. Not yet.
I think from here.
Well, he needs at least a blue, doesn't he? He's 32 behind. That, surely that is the red. Carter getting ready maybe to concede. Well, he's going to let him play it out.
1.
So, of course, there wasn't that. I guess he's not what they came here today to be thinking about. They wanted to win the group, but the group, like the week really, been done. Yuan-Si Jun has finished second. Ronnie O'Sullivan, with this victory, will
10.
finish third. So Ali League ends here today.
13. 17.
Well, we saw a bit of
22.
O'Sullivan magic in frame one, the 127.
$28.
Well, all smiles at the end of the day, but
35.
it is, of
Frame
course,
and
Pang
match.
Jung-ju who's won the
Ronnie
group.
O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan beats Carter 3-0 in the last match.
Cheers, Alan.
So
Okay,
Ronnie
that's
O'Sullivan
it. Cheers.
ends this group in third position.
Okay, cheers.
That's confirmation. Pang Jung-ju with 7 points, 2 wins and a draw. Yuan Si-jun